My parents left me a painting that seemed to hold no value, but as I discovered hidden numbers behind it, everything began to shift. The morning of my parents' will reading arrived crisp and clear, with sunlight pouring through the rich mahogany-paneled windows of Wilson and Associates law office. I lingered in the shadows, observing my brother Julian as he paraded through the room in his perfectly fitted suit, exuding an air of ownership over everything around him. Deep down, I had to admit, he likely did possess it all. "Ms. Elena Carter, is it?" The lawyer's voice pierced the silence, drawing my attention with an intensity that held me captive. "Are you prepared to move forward?" I nodded slowly, my fingers tightening around the arms of the leather chair, a quiet tension building within me. At 33, I stood on the precipice of revelation, poised to uncover the depths of my parents' true feelings towards me, even though an unsettling intuition had long whispered their sentiments in my ear. The relentless echoes of Julian in our lives had illuminated that truth with a haunting clarity. Mr. Dalton, with a deliberate motion, adjusted his wire-rimmed glasses, the air thick with anticipation as he began to read. "To our son Julian, whose unwavering commitment to the family business and the preservation of the Bennett legacy is truly remarkable." He proceeded to enumerate the assets in a way that left me utterly astounded. The sprawling family estate nestled in Vermont, our cherished summer retreat in the Hamptons, the commanding shares in Bennett Industries, and a portfolio brimming with wealth. With every item, Julian's smirk deepened, hinting at a tension that lingered in the air. Then arrived the moment that was meant for me. "To our beloved daughter Sarah." Mr. Dalton lingered in silence, his fingers hesitating over the scattered papers before him. "We depart from the painting Autumn Twilight, which now resides in the study of our primary home." The atmosphere thickened with an unspoken tension. Julian let his laughter spill forth, unrestrained and genuine. "A work of art?" I found the courage to speak, my voice trembling, almost lost in the stillness around me. "Merely a canvas?" It held a special place in her heart. Mr. Dalton spoke softly, his discomfort palpable as he grappled with the stark contrast before him. Julian approached, his hand settling on my shoulder, the pressure firm enough to send a jolt of discomfort through me. "Rest assured, sister, I will ensure that you find a fulfilling position within the company. Perhaps within the confines of the mailroom?" I pulled away from his touch and rose to my feet, the tension hanging in the air like a heavy fog. The legacy of the Bennett family, painstakingly crafted over 3 generations, now rested solely in the hands of my brother. What remained was just one solitary painting, a piece my mother had acquired from a quaint little gallery many years prior. The forest at dusk had always captivated me, its beauty shrouded in mystery, with peculiar geometric forms lurking among the trees, waiting to be discovered. Yet, it hardly felt like a just legacy. "Is that everything?" I inquired of Mr. Dalton. He offered a slow, understanding nod, his eyes reflecting a depth of feeling. "The painting should be gathered within a week's time." I walked away in silence, the weight of Julian's calls fading into the distance. The journey to my parents' home, now transformed into Julian's sanctuary, carried an air of surrealism. The guards at the gate cast wary glances my way, yet they allowed me passage after I shared the story behind the painting. Inside, the housekeeper Helen greeted me, her eyes glistening with unshed tears, a silent weight hanging in the air between us. "Oh, Miss Sarah," she murmured, enveloping me in a warm embrace. "What they did to you is deeply unjust." I embraced her tightly, struggling to hold back my own tears. Helen often filled the role of a mother in my life, surpassing even my own mother at times. With a delicate touch, she assisted me in removing the painting from the study wall, gently enveloping it in a blanket as if cradling a fragile secret. "Your mother would gaze at this for hours," Helen whispered, her voice heavy with unspoken memories, particularly in those final months. At times, she would softly murmur about numbers and patterns, her voice laced with an undercurrent of unspoken tension. We believed the illness was clouding her mind. I gazed intently at the painting, allowing its layers to unfold before me. As the dim light enveloped the study, the geometric shapes began to subtly transform, revealing intricate patterns that had previously eluded my gaze. "Figures?" Helen offered a slow, deliberate nod, her expression heavy with unspoken thoughts. Her fingers glided over the shapes, a repetitive dance of contemplation and longing. Mr. Bennett would become consumed by his anger over it. That evening, within the confines of my modest apartment across town, I carefully placed the painting on the wall of my living room, allowing its presence to linger in the air. It possessed a unique beauty that lingered in the air, evoking a sense of longing and reflection. The forest scene unfolded with breathtaking intricacy, every leaf and branch meticulously captured, drawing the viewer into its quiet yet profound embrace. Yet those geometric forms seemed to clash with the organic surroundings, creating a tension that lingered in the air. It felt as if there was a purpose behind their actions, as if they were attempting to convey a deeper message to me. I filled a glass with deep red wine and settled onto the couch, my gaze fixed on the painting before me. The last treasure my mother bestowed upon me. Was it truly nothing more than a heartless jest, a lingering echo that I would never rise to Julian's level? Or was there something deeper lurking beneath the surface? The soft vibration of my phone broke the silence. Julian is reaching out once more. I let it slip away, just as I had with his last 5 calls. He likely desired to revel in his triumph a bit longer, or perhaps extend that tempting offer for the mailroom position. Instead, I sat down with my laptop, the soft glow illuminating my face as I delved into the depths of the painting's history. Autumn Twilight, created by the artist James Morrison. There are no significant exhibitions, no auction records to speak of, and an almost non-existent online presence. The gallery from which my mother acquired it has long since shuttered its doors. It felt as though the painting had materialized from the shadows, an unexpected revelation that lingered in the air, heavy with unspoken stories. A message from Julian appeared, lingering in the air like an unspoken tension. Don't let resentment take hold, sister. Join me in this journey. It's exactly what they would have hoped for. I let out a sharp breath, a sound of disbelief escaping my lips. My parents had always envisioned me embodying the qualities of Julian. To prioritize profit margins and shareholders over the deep-seated passion I hold for art history and restoration. I let them down by following my own journey. And now their emotions lay bare, unmistakable and profound. Yet there was an undeniable pull from the painting that captivated my gaze. The silhouettes linger in the shadows. Their presence evoked memories of lessons learned in the quiet intensity of my art restoration courses. Stickionography, an artful technique of concealing messages within the ordinary, waiting to be discovered. I rose from my seat, drawn in by the allure of the painting, and leaned in to scrutinize its intricate details. The geometric shapes emerged, their colors quietly diverging from the surrounding scene, hinting at an underlying tension that lingered in the air. Subtle and elusive, it lingers just out of sight, waiting for the keen observer to uncover its presence. And it felt as though a pattern was beginning to emerge. The sudden knock at my door startled me, sending a ripple of tension through the air. The clock had just struck midnight, casting an eerie stillness over the world. Who could possibly be arriving at this late hour? Peering through the peephole, I caught sight of Julian, his typically flawless hair now in disarray. "Sarah," he called out, his voice lingering in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. "Reveal yourself. It's time we delve into the painting." I remained quiet, observing him intently through the small opening. He had always remained indifferent to the world of art. What brought him here at this hour, under the veil of darkness, inquiring about a painting that was thought to hold no value? "Sarah, I implore you." His voice carried a weight of urgency that resonated deeply within me, revealing a vulnerability I had never encountered before. Mother left behind a set of poignant instructions regarding the painting. "It's time to return what's rightfully yours. What are the guidelines?" My heart began to race, each beat echoing the tension in the air. Perhaps I wasn't losing my mind after all. Perhaps there was indeed a secret lurking within those intricate geometric forms. "Leave me be, Julian." I reached out, my voice lingering in the stillness beyond the door. "The artwork belongs to me. This is everything I have, don't forget." "You fail to grasp the depth of this," he whispered with intensity. "That painting holds a depth you can't quite grasp. Hand it over to me immediately, and I will reward you with $5 million. $5 million? For a painting he had chuckled at merely hours before? I stepped back from the door, my thoughts swirling in a tumultuous storm. Julian possessed a myriad of qualities, yet he was far from foolish when it came to finances. If he was willing to offer such a significant amount, the true value of the painting must be far greater than anyone had anticipated. I could hear him struggling with something, the tension hanging in the air. Where are the keys? Did he still possess a copy of my spare key from that time I was unwell last year? With a sense of urgency, I snatched the painting from its place on the wall and hurried to my bedroom, securing the door just as the sound of the front door creaked open echoed through the house. "There." Julian's voice lingered in the stillness of my apartment, reverberating with an unsettling intensity. "Where have you gone? Where has the painting gone?" I clutched the painting tightly, my hands trembling with an unspoken weight. In the soft, muted glow of my bedroom, the geometric shapes appeared to shimmer gently, casting an air of quiet intrigue. And then it unfolded before me, a pattern I had overlooked until now. The forms held a deeper significance, intricately woven into the fabric of the unfolding narrative. They emerged as subtle figures, artfully concealed within the forest backdrop, revealing themselves only to those who possessed the keen insight to discern their presence. There, Julian was inching nearer, the tension thickening with each passing moment. Consider the weight of your actions. The value of that painting transcends your wildest dreams. I carefully flipped the painting, my gaze lingering on the back, searching for hidden stories and untold secrets. The original canvas had been expertly mounted, yet there was an unsettling quality to the framing that lingered in the air. An unexpected void that lingers in the air. The handle moved slightly softly, a subtle yet unsettling movement that lingered in the air. Sarah, open this door at this very moment. With trembling fingers, I delicately explored the narrow opening in the frame, each movement steeped in a quiet tension that hung in the air. A delicate slip of paper drifted free, adorned with the graceful strokes of my mother's handwriting. As I read the opening line, a tightness gripped my throat, holding my breath captive. My beloved Sarah, if these words have reached you, then you have unearthed the truth I always anticipated you would find. You perceive nuances that elude the attention of those around you. You challenge the beliefs that others hold dear. And now, my beloved daughter, you are on the brink of discovering the deep-seated fears that have long haunted your father and brother in your presence. The relentless knocking firmly on my bedroom door intensified, yet I remained oblivious to its urgency. I found myself completely absorbed in my mother's letter. My hands trembled, each word unfolding a truth that would alter the course of everything. The figures within the painting held a deeper significance, each stroke whispering secrets waiting to be uncovered. They were mere numbers and letters, yet they held the potential to unravel the very core of Bennett Industries, a revelation that lingered in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. My brother, his voice echoing through the hallway, remained blissfully unaware that the foundation of his seemingly flawless existence was on the verge of shattering. Time slipped away as I remained on my bedroom floor, lost in the haunting words of my mother's letter, each line echoing in my mind, while Julian's voice raged on outside. My hands quivered as I took in every meticulously crafted word. The figures within the artwork, intertwined with the access codes I've provided, will guide you toward the hidden truths of Bennett Industries. Your father and brother forged their legacy through the appropriation of others' brilliance. Innovations and creations drawn from the depths of visionary thinkers who placed their faith in them. I was one of those souls, Sarah. And you, my beloved daughter, were destined to follow in my footsteps. The sudden jarring sound of a crash echoed from the living room, pulling me sharply from my thoughts. Julian seemed to have reached the end of his patience with polite requests. I need to contact the authorities. I cried out, my fingers trembling as I pressed the numbers for emergency help. Proceed. Julian's voice echoed in the tension-filled air. I will inform them that you took something that belongs to the company. The painting is the property of Bennett Industries. Yet I had gained a deeper understanding now. The letter unveiled the truth, layer by layer, drawing the reader deeper into its emotional depths. My mother was a remarkable inventor, her brilliance shining through in every creation she brought to life. How she concealed her efforts right before everyone's eyes all these years. The painting transcended mere artistry. It was a crucial piece, unlocking a trove of concealed truths waiting to be revealed. The coordinates will guide you to my secluded laboratory, where secrets await in the shadows. The letter unfolded further. All that you seek lies within reach. But tread lightly, Sarah. Your father and brother are willing to go to great lengths to protect the truths they hide. The sound of Julian's footsteps faded into the distance, punctuated by the sharp echo of my front door slamming shut. With a measured inhale, I stepped out of my bedroom, the weight of anticipation hanging in the air. My apartment lay in disarray. Julian had seemingly scoured every shadowy nook, consumed by the quest for the elusive painting. Yet, the turmoil held no significance for me. I found myself burdened with tasks that demanded my attention. Initially, I meticulously documented every detail of the painting, ensuring that the geometric shapes were captured from every possible perspective. With a deliberate hand, I transcribed the coordinates from my mother's letter, each stroke heavy with unspoken weight. Following her guidance, I was compelled to layer the shapes in a deliberate order, each step bringing me closer to uncovering the complete set of access codes, shrouded in mystery and anticipation. My phone vibrated once more, revealing a message from Helen, our former housekeeper. "Miss Sarah, the men are at the house, carefully taking away all of your mother's belongings." They searched through her study, attention hanging in the air, each moment thick with unspoken questions. "Exercise caution, if you will." They were meticulously erasing the traces of their actions. I felt the urgency pressing down on me. The coordinates pointed to a secluded spot in the Berkshires, a quiet 3-hour journey from the bustling city. My mother had penned a note revealing that she acquired the property under her maiden name, shrouding it in secrecy from my father and brother. Her letter revealed that the lab lay hidden beneath the surface. The entrance resembles a forgotten storm cellar, yet it conceals an advanced security system that hints at deeper secrets within. Utilize the initial series of digits from the artwork to unlock the entrance. I hurriedly gathered my belongings, the laptop, the painting tenderly swathed in blankets, a few articles of clothing, and my mother's heartfelt letter. As I made my way to my car, I caught sight of a black SUV idling across the street, its engine humming softly in the stillness. Julian still had more to reveal. The journey to the Berkshires was filled with an unsettling tension, each mile steeped in unspoken emotions. The SUV trailed behind me for the first hour, maintaining a steady distance, an unsettling presence that lingered in the air. I navigated every winding path and hidden route that came to mind, ultimately evading them just beyond the Massachusetts border. As I arrived at the coordinates, the first light of dawn began to break, casting a soft glow over the landscape. The property exuded an air of neglect, presenting itself as an overgrown field where an old farmhouse stood, its dilapidated state whispering tales of a forgotten past. As I strolled through the grounds, tracing the lines of the geometric shapes in the painting against the backdrop of the natural landscape, a profound understanding of my mother's brilliance began to unfold within me. The forms transcended mere digits, they unfolded into a narrative, a guiding path waiting to be discovered. The unpredictable arrangement of trees and rocks resonated deeply with the artwork, creating a hauntingly beautiful connection. The storm cellar lay precisely as the painting had suggested, shrouded in an air of quiet anticipation. The weathered doors, cloaked in rust, seemed untouched by time, yet as I entered the initial code into a concealed keypad, they creaked open, unveiling a staircase that spiraled down into an abyss of shadows. As I descended, the motion sensor lights flickered to life, casting fleeting shadows in the dimness. With every step, the chill in the air deepened, and the gentle murmur of the ventilation systems enveloped me like a haunting whisper. At the bottom, a solitary keypad lingered, shrouded in an air of anticipation. This time, I found myself drawn to the second sequence from the painting. The laboratory that rose from the shadows left me utterly speechless. It felt as though one had crossed the threshold into an entirely new realm. Immaculate white walls stand as silent witnesses, while cutting-edge equipment casts a soft glow, and rows of computers murmur with a subtle intensity. Yet, what truly captivated my attention was the imposing wall adorned with patents and prototypes. A multitude of innovations caught my eye, reminiscent of Bennett Industries products, yet marked by one pivotal distinction. Each one carried the unmistakable mark of my mother's original signature. "Oh my God," I breathed, inching closer to take in every detail. These were not merely reminiscent of Bennett Industries technology, they were the very originals themselves. My mother was not merely a silent presence within the company. She was its concealed mastermind, orchestrating brilliance from the shadows. The sound of a voice I recognized sent a chill coursing through me, freezing me in place. "It's quite remarkable, don't you think?" I turned slowly, my heart tightening as I caught sight of my father framed in the doorway. He appeared just as he did on that fateful day, or at least on the day we believed he had left us. Julian lingered beside him, a slow, satisfied smirk curling at the corners of his lips, the tension hanging thick in the air. "Did you truly believe your mother was the sole keeper of this secret location?" my father inquired, entering the lab with a weighty presence. Admittedly, concealing the coordinates within that painting was a stroke of brilliance. "Our quest for this facility has consumed us for months, each passing day steeped in anticipation and uncertainty." I stepped back, my fingers tightly gripping the letter from my mother. "It was believed you had vanished from this world." He smiled, yet the warmth never touched his gaze. "At times, the most effective approach to uncovering the truth lies in allowing others to cease their search. Your mother's death was undeniably true, but mine? Let's just say it fulfilled its role in a way that lingers, evoking a sense of quiet reflection. It dawned on me that the reading was, in fact, a carefully laid trap. You asked me to uncover the painting. We needed you to leave us here, Julian said, stepping forward to obstruct the way out. Before her passing, Mom altered every security protocol, leaving an unsettling air of mystery in her wake. Access was denied without the necessary codes. And now, my father said, moving forward with a deliberate pace, you're going to assist us in bringing down everything within this lab. Every trace of your mother's contributions will fade away, ensuring that the patents of Bennett Industries stay protected. Yet they had committed a pivotal error. As their conversation unfolded, I found myself gradually retreating toward my mother's primary workstation. Her letter hinted at a pressing situation, revealing a sequence of numbers that would set into motion what she referred to as the clarity protocol. Actually, I said, my hand moving slowly behind me to input the sequence, I don't think I will. The lab was enveloped in a haunting glow as the lights transitioned to a throbbing red, and a mechanical voice echoed through the silence, declaring, Clarity Protocol activated. Disseminating crucial evidence to prominent news organizations and regulatory bodies. Erasure is unattainable. My obscured visage twisted in a simmering fury. What have you brought upon us? Mom referred to it as her safety net. I spoke, a growing intensity fueling my voice with every syllable. Every fragment of evidence in this lab has just been sent to countless secure locations, shrouded in an air of tension and anticipation. Every piece of evidence, from patents to proof of theft, and the shadow of fraudulent documents looms large. Bennett Industries stands on the brink of facing difficult questions. Julian stepped forward quickly, urgency visible in his expression, but the moment had slipped away, irrevocably lost. As the alarms pierced the air, a tense stillness enveloped the lab, the security systems engaging with a chilling finality, securing all the exits. We found ourselves trapped by a powerful realization that had the power to unravel their entire empire. She understood, I went on, observing as their expressions drained of color. She understood that you would attempt to overshadow her efforts, just as you had stifled her groundbreaking ideas. She was determined that the truth would eventually reveal itself, no matter the cost. Through the lab's small windows, the flickering police lights drew nearer, casting an unsettling glow that hinted at the tension building outside. A presence, perhaps the vigilant eye of the lab's security system, had quietly summoned the local authorities, setting the stage for an unfolding tension. My father and Julian shared a moment of silent dread, their eyes wide with fear as the wailing sirens approached, echoing the tension in the air. The painting that had ignited the chain of events lingered, shrouded in blankets, waiting silently by the door. The unassuming geometric shapes, often overlooked, guided me with an uncanny precision to the very place I was meant to be. My mother's last offering transcended mere artistry, it embodied a quest for justice. As I observed my father and brother come to terms with the disintegration of their ideal existence, a subtle smile crept across my face, for I understood that this was merely the prologue to a much deeper story. The true narrative of Bennett Industries was on the verge of unfolding, and this time, the truth would emerge from the shadows, unmasked and undeniable. The following 2 days unfolded in a haze of police interviews, media coverage, and corporate turmoil, each moment steeped in a growing tension that lingered in the air. From the confines of my hotel room, I observed the dramatic descent of Bennett Industries stock, a meticulously woven tapestry of deceit unraveling before my eyes in a hauntingly slow revelation. The CEO of Bennett Industries, once presumed lost, has resurfaced, only to be taken into custody on charges of fraud. The headlines whispered secrets, corporate giant forged in shadows, a mother's reckoning, the unseen brilliance behind Bennett Tech. The incessant ringing of my phone had become a haunting echo since the story emerged, each call a reminder of the unfolding tension. Everyone, journalists, lawyers, former employees, was eager to uncover my perspective, drawn into the unfolding narrative that held so much weight. Yet, my focus remained solely on that one call. Helen, our former housekeeper, held within her the weight of untold stories, each revelation poised to unravel the fabric of our past. Your mother anticipated this moment, she confided, her voice thick with feeling. That's why she compelled me to vow that I would deliver this to you once the truth was finally revealed. An hour later, I found myself in the intimate confines of Helen's small living room, clutching yet another letter from my mother, the weight of its words heavy in the air. This one held a unique weight. Not mere instructions or coordinates, but a tale unfolding with depth and tension. Her journey unfolds. My beloved Sarah. It started to unfold. With the revelation of Bennett Industries laid bare, it is essential for you to confront the depths of your own past. You were always his equal, never beneath him. Destiny has always whispered of greater things awaiting you. As I immerse myself in the words, the fragments of my existence gradually came into sharp relief. My mother was not merely another pawn in my father's intricate games. She had orchestrated a delicate dance, meticulously guiding me toward this pivotal moment from the very start. The art history classes I had taken were not a waste of time, despite my father's claims to the contrary. They had honed my perception to recognize subtle patterns, to grasp the concealed significance woven into the ordinary. My journey in restoration has instilled in me a profound sense of patience, an unwavering precision, and a remarkable skill for piecing together the truth from mere fragments. Each time your father distanced you from the family business, my mother penned, every time he chose Julian over you, he was, without realizing it, shaping you for this very moment. You discovered a new perspective, uncovering truths that eluded those around you. As Julian honed his skill in weaving deception, you were quietly mastering the art of unveiling the truth. The sudden knock at Helen's door pulled me from the depths of my reading, a moment suspended in time, heavy with unspoken tension. A woman clad in a tailored suit lingered outside, gripping a briefcase with a sense of purpose and anticipation. "Miss Bennett, I am Daniel Reese representing the SEC. We must delve into the matter of your mother's patents." The hours that followed unfolded like a meticulously crafted narrative, revealing the depth of my mother's careful planning and the layers of emotion woven into her every decision. Not only had she chronicled the stolen patents, but she also persisted in her inventive pursuits, laboring in secrecy within her hidden laboratory. The coordinates of the painting unveiled not just remnants of a bygone theft, but also hinted at groundbreaking innovations poised to reshape the industry forever. "Your mother filed these patents under a trust," Alexander revealed, carefully laying out the documents across Helen's coffee table, "a trust that designates you as the sole beneficiary." My hands quivered as I gazed at the documents before me. A multitude of patents, each one safeguarded by law, now firmly in my possession. Not merely the outdated innovations my father had taken, but groundbreaking advancements, light years beyond the present technology. "Bennett Industries is not merely obligated to compensate you for the stolen patents," Alexander pressed on, his voice heavy with unspoken tension. "Their entire foundation rests upon the innovations your mother created. They are utterly dependent on it." "What implications does that carry?" I inquired, even as the pieces started to fall into place within me. "It signifies, Ms. Bennett, that you now hold the reins of the very company that once dismissed you." As the dawn broke, I stepped into the imposing headquarters of Bennett Industries, a world away from the shadows of my father and Julian languishing in jail. No longer the overlooked daughter, I embraced my new identity as the owner, ready to confront the unfolding drama ahead. In a tense meeting, the board of directors, grappling with the looming threat of total failure, found themselves cornered, ultimately compelled to concede to my demands. As I stood in my father's former office, a sense of anticipation washed over me. There, concealed behind the painting that had once adorned the wall, lay a hidden wall safe, waiting to reveal its secrets. The fusion? The concluding arrangement of figures from my mother's artwork. Within its pages lay a deeply personal account of every innovation he had pilfered, every inventor he had deceived. Yet, most poignantly, it held a list of names, individuals like my mother, who had been unjustly denied their rightful acknowledgement. 1 month later, I found myself on a stage at a hastily arranged press conference revealing the company's new direction. "The foundation of Bennett Industries rests upon dreams that were never truly theirs," I revealed to the gathered audience. "Today marks the start of our journey to redemption. We are laying the groundwork for a foundation that will right the wrongs faced by every inventor under the previous management. Yet, beyond this restitution, we are embarking on a profound transformation of the company into a true incubator for innovation, a sanctuary where brilliant minds are honored and nurtured, rather than taken advantage of." The artwork that ignited everything now resides in my new office, a poignant reminder that often, the most precious treasures lie concealed in the everyday. The geometric shapes that once held my mother's secret now embody a different meaning, a design for a brighter future, one founded on truth rather than deception. Julian reached out to me from behind bars, his words oscillating between persistent messages and desperate cries for assistance. I returned a solitary photograph, the artwork now occupying the very spot where our father's portrait once lingered. He would grasp the significance of the message. His realm of deceit had come to an end. My father held on to his silence, yet it no longer carried weight. The truth he had struggled to conceal had now become the weight of his legacy. Thomas Carter's legacy would not shine as that of a pioneering entrepreneur, but rather cast a shadow as a man who appropriated the brilliance of his own wife. As the clock ticked towards the end of the day, casting long shadows in the dimly lit office, Helen appeared with a letter in hand, my mother's last words, delivered just as I was about to step into the night. This moment was meticulously orchestrated to unfold precisely 1 month after the company's metamorphosis commenced. My dearest Sarah, it began, if you find yourself holding these words, you have achieved something far greater than merely unveiling the truth. From the remnants of analysis, you have started to piece together a new existence. I never wish for you to take on the weight of a tainted legacy. I hope for you to seize the opportunity to create something genuine, something that truly deserves your heart. I lingered over her handwriting, each stroke drawing me deeper into the intimacy of our connection. The seemingly insignificant painting held a value far beyond its surface. It was the pivotal element that held the weight of all that had transpired. Beyond that, it was my mother's subtle gesture, revealing that I had received a legacy far richer than mere wealth or prestige. I had embraced her dream of a brighter future. 2 years later, Bennett Industries, now reborn as Luminex Innovations, stands transformed, a shadow of its former self. We have emerged as a frontrunner, not only in innovation but also in upholding principled business values. The foundation has quietly empowered numerous inventors to reclaim their stolen innovations, while our incubator program has subtly ignited countless new careers, each story unfolding with a sense of anticipation and depth. The painting remains in my office, its geometric shapes offering a sense of solace that has become deeply ingrained in my daily life. In the stillness of the night, I often feel a subtle movement, a whisper of presence, as if my mother lingers on, guiding me to uncover hidden patterns and unveil profound truths waiting to be revealed. Yet, the most profound truth lingered in the shadows, concealed in the open, much like those elusive numbers. The foundation of deceit may rise momentarily, yet it is destined to fall. In contrast, the strength of honesty and righteousness endures, weathering the passage of time. Julian stepped into the world outside the prison walls just last week, the weight of his past lingering in the air around him. He reached out with a message suggesting we meet to discuss the delicate process of mending our family ties. I still haven't found the right moment to respond. There are certain patterns I've discovered that are best left undisturbed. Instead, I find myself immersed in thoughts of what lies ahead. Each year, the company orchestrates a captivating innovation fair, a sanctuary for young inventors to unveil their groundbreaking ideas, free from the shadows of theft. The previous year's champion was a young woman, her narrative evoking memories of my mother, stirring a deep emotional resonance within me. Radiant, overlooked, yet steadfast in her pursuit. As I presented her with the award, my gaze was drawn to the glass trophy, where my mother's painting shimmered back at me, a poignant reminder of her presence. The geometric shape swayed gently, as if acknowledging a deeper truth, whispering that the most profound legacies are not those we can grasp physically, but those that quietly reshape our very essence. The seemingly insignificant painting had bestowed upon me something of immeasurable value. The revelation of my history, the grip on my destiny, and above all, the opportunity to guarantee that no other extraordinary intellect would ever be overlooked or unrecognized again. And that, I am certain, would fill my mother with a deeper pride than any wealth could ever achieve.